So this is session number the second. We are following the adventures of not one, but two amazing ladies who are on a journey through Germany via train. Penelope, the halfling superstar, whose hobbies include buying all the snacks, sharing some of them, making waiters uncomfortable, and then going on a train adventure. She's traveling on her way to Cologne to meet up with her manager because she's currently between gigs and deciding what she wants to do next. Also with us, Anise is a half-elf. She is a potion maker from London who is on this train because she's got to deliver a special potion to a special customer at a stop between the starting point and Cologne. So both of them are traveling independently, but they met pretty early on. Through what I can only really think of as dessert diplomacy, the two have become friends. Two of you are standing at the door to a first-class apartment. The big, mummified-looking guy is sitting down on a couch that is absolutely too small for him. His feet are sort of hanging down into that box that he came out of, which does make a little bit of space in the room at least. All of the tiny little spiders have spread around to give you plenty of space. And the nice gentleman is sitting on the bed at the far end. Hello and welcome to First Class. Have you been enjoying your time on the train?
Can't quite say that we've been having the time of our lives. I mean, I don't want to speak for my companion here, but I personally have had better train rides than this.
Why spiders?
Well, you see, when a mommy spider and a daddy spider tolerate one another.
I can only assume that you are the black man, I say, doing like quotes, air quotes, that strange man was talking about.
It would appear to be the case. I've not seen any others on this train. Yes, excuse me, I'm being... My name is Kwaku, and I am known among our more mage circles as simply the Code Spinner. You might recognize my name if you spend any time in Clock Tower, though I would not blame you if you do not. The Clock Tower is full of, simply put, stuffy bastards.
So I've heard.
It is an understandable place to avoid. I only really go by when delivering the mystic codes that I build. Would you like a seat? You get over here. Brr. By all means, have a seat. As to your question about the spiders, I've been relying on my friends, the spiders, to keep an eye on things once I noticed someone was snooping around. You can never be too careful.
So you're just friends with the spiders? They're not familiars?
No, I just talk to them and they talk back.
In Druidic?
It's a little more complicated than that. So, you know speak with animals? I crafted a mystic code that allows me to temporarily imbue animals with comprehend speech. They can't speak back, but they can understand. It just takes them a little while.
I'll say to him in Druidic, do you understand what I'm saying?
He's just staring at you.
Good. Someone didn't teach you a language you shouldn't know. Excellent.
No, although that is fascinating. I have known many druids, but they have been very tight-lipped.
That's the norm, yes.
But I have found it very helpful to allow small insects who are willing to communicate the ability to understand us and just send them around. I have found that things that people don't really want to look at make the best for this. They're also very friendly, it turns out, if you don't give them a reason to think that you are a fly.
They were a little cute when they dragged the key over for me to get your friend out of the storage.
Yes, and I do appreciate that.
Too many legs for me.
If it makes you feel better, a lot of them are more like arms.
No, not really.
That is fair. We obviously have a mutual issue on this train, and I appreciate you getting my bodyguard, for lack of a better way of saying it. I did not expect to acquire his services, so I put him in storage, and then it became clear that there were other problems on the train. I appreciate your assistance. Do you know who that man is?
Not quite. We learned a name that he goes by, and we learned that he may or may not be affiliated with the Harvesters.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Yeah, and he's got someone that's going to be boarding the train at the next stop to help him, which is bad.
And supposedly he's got people showing up at other stops as well.
Goes by the name Leopold. He only speaks German, as far as I can tell. He's kind of a dick.
I could tell when the spiders told me he tried to light my luggage on fire. Among other things, very rude.
That's putting it lightly.
A touch.
Well, I am not a fan of Harvesters. I don't have a lot of faith in that organization being more than just some edgy punks who admittedly do cause real damage. They are terrorists. Generally speaking, anyone of real power has better things to do. But dangerous is dangerous. So do you know where he is now?
I mean, the last time we saw him, he was in one of the luggage cars, if I remember.
Oh, he has some kind of rifle, too, in addition to being able to cast some magic. Although I think we might have tapped him out by making him change appearances 3 or 4 times.
That is admittedly funny. Let me see if he's still there. And so you see him kind of reach over to one of the spider webs that's on the wall behind him. He holds one of the fibers between his index finger and his thumb, as if he's sort of feeling out the vibrations on a guitar string or something. Yes, he appears to still be there. He appears to be huddling up a little bit. I guess he's just waiting for his reinforcements to arrive, which unfortunately, based on the terrain outside my window, appears to be soon.
Oh, good.
So,
Good.
I suppose we could go and intercept him now, or we could simply hold up here and let them do whatever it is they're planning on doing, and perhaps they won't be able to actually get into the first-class car. I, for one, have no desire to get off of this train until I reach my destination. Well, given we've got a bit of a barrier between us at the moment, I think it might be best just to allow whoever is coming on to come on, rather than causing a commotion at the station. I would personally rather not endanger any bystanders, both for their sake and because, quite frankly, the last thing that I would like is to have some executioners or church officials snooping into my business. If you think he is sufficiently afraid, he may wait us out yet. Well, I will keep an eye on that car unless you would like to approach him first. I'll defer to the two of you and your experience here, because I'm quite content to just wait this out.
I mean, I'm personally not a fighter, so I'm also kind of weighted out.
Don't think he would like to see us right now, personally.
Although personally, I would love to harass him with his phone some more.
I could, the word is text, right?
Yes.
Text in German asking what his boss is wearing.
Try it, go for it.
Uh,
Here's the phone.
I guess the question, I just take the phone and I actually do type in German, "So boss, what are you wearing?" with a winky face.
And do you send it?
Sure, I send it.
Alright.
So I guess the question is, do we need to get Leopold out of the way, neutralize him as a threat before we get to our destination?
I suspect that if it's just him, it will not be that hard, especially if he's as depleted in resources as you say.
He does have a gun, though.
Admittedly, we could always just tell security he has a gun, but I don't think that would be very responsible.
I don't have anything that is capable of putting him to sleep or anything like that. Other than, just whacking him over the head a few times with my staff.
That is a time-honored method.
I don't think we need to kill him. I mean, he's incredibly racist. But have I gotten a response in German yet?
So you know how when someone is typing a message but they don't send it? That's what you're on right now.
It occurs to me you don't know what I did and you can't read it. I texted in German to ask his boss what he's wearing because I feel we should bother this man as much as humanly possible.
I am never above mocking bigots. It sounds like this Leopold fellow is somewhat incompetent. You can feel the train sort of slowing to a stop in the station. Would you like to look out the window? Because the station is on the right, so you're on the correct side. A few things that you'll notice at this point. It is definitely getting darker. Both of you can see that there aren't too many people out here. Got some people coming on, some people going off. In the interest of not bogging down stuff with even more details, I'm going to use the same tokens that are already on those cars and say they happen to sit in the same seats, but just acknowledge they're not necessarily the same people. None of them particularly stands out to you, with the exception of one person. He's wearing a business suit, but he doesn't have like a briefcase or anything that implies that he's going anywhere for work. That's a little bit weird.
He certainly looks cranky.
Compared with everyone else, I think he might be a man?
That does seem the most likely. I think I will have my friends listen in and see if he is the one who ends up approaching Leopold, I think you said his name was.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see what happens. So in the meantime, I guess, sit back and enjoy the train ride. A few minutes pass, they call the all aboard, and the train gets moving again.
While this is happening, Penelope takes her phone back out and starts to text her manager. So, seems like there's a little bit of trouble on the train, and with some people who are probably kill me and my new buddy. Just want let you know in case something happens.
A moment passes and you get a reply like, what did you do?
Excuse you, I didn't do anything. I am a perfect angel and you know that, sir. But also, this guy was watching me in one of the cars and so I followed him and then he had a gun and then also there was some fire. Oh, and there's a lot of spiders. I know it costs like 10 cents per text. Please don't get angry with me.
So you're not drunk. This is really happening.
Nope, haven't had a drop. Also, I stole a guy's phone. To be fair, he was trying to kill me.
You've known your manager long enough to know that your manager does take threats to your life seriously.
Yeah.
But also, you've had enough incidents where it's understandable to ask. You let him know about what you were at some point relatively early on. He's taking this seriously now that he knows you're not just screwing with him. Would you feel safer getting off at one of the early stops and hunkering down until I can get there, or are you going to ride it out until you get to Cologne?
It would probably be safer to get off earlier, because from what I can tell, this guy has backup, and he may have more backup further down the line in Cologne.
You said you found a friend, so stick with your friend. Let me know which stop you're getting off at, and I will try to have help meet you there. Should I involve the authorities?
Not yet.
Okay,
Just
stay
walk
safe.
Okay, smiley face. Kind of puts away the phone and goes, alright, so I've had a change in travel plan. Where were you getting on the train again? Did you tell me that at any point?
My stop is Brezig.
Do you mind if I stick with you a little bit until this gets a little less threatening? My original stop is no longer my stop now.
You were going all the way to Cologne originally, yes?
Yep.
I don't mind. I'm simply hoping to deliver a potion to someone. Maybe do a little camping and sightseeing before returning to London.
Ooh, London.
Kwaku sort of leans over and goes, did you say you're going to Breisig?
Yes.
Fascinating. And you're delivering a potion. Out of curiosity, are you delivering a potion to someone a bit west of Breisig?
I'm gonna
Because
insight
I may
check.
know someone.
I'm gonna insight check him.
Go for
before-
it. He doesn't seem to be trying to be misleading, although he is interested.
Yes, it is west of Brezig from what I can tell.
Do you mind telling me a bit more about this potion? I know some people in that area, and depending on the potion, I might be going to the same place.
Well, it's a potion I've been brewing for them for many years. To tell you the truth, I don't really know what it does for them. A normal person ingesting it would most certainly die because it's definitely toxic, but they pay good gold for it every year, so I keep brewing it for them.
Do they pay in literal gold?
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident we are going to the same place then.
Interesting.
Are you familiar with the Einsburn family? Anise knows the Einsburn are a very old family of alchemists. They mostly keep to themselves, but they occasionally wander out for rituals. They're based in Germany. You knew that. You didn't know exactly where, but where you're going would make sense. They allegedly have a castle somewhere in the region. They're pretty reclusive, but every time one of them does show up somewhere, they look almost the same, to the point where some people theorize that there's maybe only a few of them and they just don't age. Penelope knows a little bit more from urban legend. The Einsburns are a family that they were really heavily invested in, like all mages, trying to get to the root. Most of them died out by literally killing themselves. One of the things that they were definitely known for among their other alchemical accomplishments was they created homunculi, and they make the best homunculi. They make the best artificial people, like, out of anyone. The homunculi essentially just kept going. They kept doing whatever it is the Einsburns were researching, and everyone else kind of leaves them alone because they don't bother anyone else for the most part. Occasionally they poke their heads in and out of politics. For the most part, they want to be left alone, and yeah, they absolutely use gold to pay for things. They are super out of touch with the modern world.
Yes, I have heard of them.
I would wager they are probably your benefactors in this case. They have a unique constitution, to say the least, and what you're doing may be very helpful to them in whatever their research is.
Dang, how'd you get the Einsburns, Anise?
I'm just good at making potions.
What kind of potion is it, if you don't mind me being nosy?
Like I said, I don't have a clue what it could be used for. There's a lot of very toxic ingredients in it. At some point, I assumed they were probably poisoning their enemies with it and didn't really want to think too hard about it. I normally ship it back to them, but this year, the handwriting was sloppy enough that I got a little worried about them. And to be honest, I am quite curious about what they're using this potion for, and I've decided to do some sightseeing, deliver it in person this year.
Neat. Did they give you an address, or?
Yes, it's somewhere up in the mountains, to the west of my destination stop. Now that I know there's a castle, I'm even more fascinated.
Oh, it is quite the castle. It's almost like a storybook.
Well, I hope we make it there so I can see it.
I'm quite confident in us, although now that I'm checking in, it does appear that the fellow you pointed out is speaking with Leopold over in the luggage car. According to my friends, he's yelling at him at the moment. Apparently, Leopold was supposed to simply keep an eye out and not draw any attention to himself. And, I mean, I noticed him and you definitely noticed him, so he's not the best of spies. This new fellow, the spiders are having trouble picking up his name. The new fellow's job is to keep us here so that a bigger group can step in later. Oh, interesting. Now they are saying that the new fellow is talking to the other people in the first class area, and they're leaving the first class area.
I don't like this. No, I don't like this one little bit.
Did not appear to have much trouble getting past the door. Yes, he's talking to people in the other cars, and they are leaving. They're apparently all going to the dining cars.
So, we're effectively trapped is what I'm hearing.
It's possible that he just doesn't want any witnesses for whatever we do next. If they are in fact bringing in a team of people to deal with us, or at least a few more, it may be in their best interest to not have an audience.
Did we get room service in here?
Oh yes, it's wonderful.
How do we call them?
There's an intercom over near the door.
I'm gonna order some room service. That will get the waiter back here. So we have a witness. And if he does get back here, we'll have snacks. Everybody wins!
Would like some ice cream. I wasn't actually able to get any.
Penelope gets up and walks over to the intercom and pushes the button.
German.
Oh no!
You hear someone say something you don't quite understand, and then after a pause, they repeat it in English. Yes, how can we help you?
Yes, can I place an order to be delivered to...
We are in 2-2. Yes, of course. What would you like?
So, we want an order of vanilla ice cream.
Of course. Very good. We'll send it right back.
Alright, so while we wait on the waiter, we should probably figure out a plan of
I
attack.
don't think they're going to attack us with just the two of them. They know there are at least three of us. They may or may not know about... does your bandaged friend have a name?
Not in particular. Would you like to name him? He's relatively new.
I'm gonna call him Raps.
Very well then, that is now his name. Your name is now Raps with a W. It nods.
Hooray!
I know he's not a bunch of spiders in a trench coat. I did ask him that.
He in fact contains no spiders.
Like Penelope, I'm not that much of a fighter. Can whap someone real good with this stick, and I have abilities.
Oh, that's interesting. It would appear that someone is attempting to deliver your ice cream. They are being stopped at the entrance to first class. It appears the new fellow has said something to them that the spiders don't understand, and they are nodding and walking away with your ice cream.
Those bastards!
There are 4 of us and 2 of them.
They don't appear to be coming back, although the new one seems to be spending a fair bit of his time on his phone.
Well, we could attack these 2 and steal this new man's phone as well, and impersonate him also.
I like the way you're thinking.
It might be wise to address them before we get to another stop. I believe we'll let Raps introduce himself.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's have Raps go greet this new guy.
Alright, lead the way, Raps. So apparently right now, the 2 of them are looking in the direction of the passenger sleeper, rather than this way, because the spiders have decided to start spelling out obscene words in the wall. I wish I could say that was my idea, but they have a sense of humor.
As I walk by where I'd put the spider under the teacup, I just take the teacup off and then put it back in my bag.
Raps is going to open the door, which is not locked from this side. They're over here and they're bickering. Over here are the spiders that are mocking them.
And they are turned towards the spiders, correct?
Yep, they are currently looking at the spiders. The new guy is bitching. Leopold is pointing his gun at the spiders. And now that you've opened the door and you've shuffled in, they are starting to turn around. If you would like to do anything before they can react, you are welcome to start combat. Otherwise, we get to talk it out or whatever.
I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
Okay, which one?
I'm on new dude. I am gonna do charm person at 2nd level because I can charm 2 people at the same time.
Yep, you failed. You got him.
2nd person.
That one
What?
passed, but you got the new guy. Lasts an hour until someone hurts him. Raps is just walking forward and being intimidating and making it hard for them to see around you. Kwaku is going to grab the nearby spider web on the wall, because this room is covered in web, if you remember. And so he's going to send a message to his friends for his action. And his friends are going to swarm this guy, because you're in a room full of spiders. And he's afraid of spiders, and now he's covered in spiders. This is not at all going the way that Leopold wanted today to go. Well, the spiders are going to bite. The spiders have still scared him, but they were not successful in their bitey bite. Penelope.
Yeah. I kind of want to hide behind Rap still, but also be like, hey buddy, what up?
I mean, you could probably stand under his legs. He's
You
probably
could.
that tall and you're that short.
He is sufficiently larger than you that you can be in the same
Okay.
space, because
Okay.
he is a large creature and you are a small creature.
Okay, cool. I dropped myself in the same space as Raps.
Oh no, where'd Penelope go?
I'm just gonna like poke my head around Raps. Hi friend, what's your name?
To the one you charmed, you mean?
Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm really bad with names. You gotta remind me.
Oh no, it's wonderful to see you, mistress. My name is Elias, of course. Your biggest fan.
Yeah, I know I have a lot of those, but I know you're the #1 fan.
Absolutely. Is there anything you wish of me, my lady?
Can you tell your friend to calm down over there? He hasn't been very nice to me, and I don't appreciate it.
He's more of a colleague than a friend, but I'll see what I can do.
Alright, another, small favor. I know you've got some other colleagues that might be wanting to join the party. Do you mind telling them to stand down?
I will send them a message as soon as my colleague calms down, yes.
Alright, cool, great, wonderful.
So, Leopold, I know he's freaking out because he's got spiders on him. Does he
Yup.
look like he's getting trigger happy? Like he might attack us soon? Or
He looks like he's about to fire the gun at something.
since basically I feel like Leopold is now a danger. Leopold, I'm warning you. I don't want to hurt you, but I want you to know that I definitely can hurt you. And if you do anything, like fire that gun or try and attack any of my allies, I am going to... it's not going to be pretty. And then I'll wild shape into the panther and just kind of be like growling.
Do panthers have intimidation rolls? Because I feel like they should. You know he's intimidated regardless. Raps is kind of here to shield all of you. Alright, he's going to use a ranged attack. This fight just got worse and worse for Leopold. Raps actually managed to grab a chunk of the spider web on the wall and just sort of chucked it at him. And it wrapped around him. He is wrapped up now. He's restrained, so he's dropped his gun and it doesn't go off because this isn't a movie. He's in a really bad place right now. Okay, well, it's his turn and he's currently restrained, so he's going to try to break out. DC 12 strength check. Let's see if he passes. Nope. Well, he is still restrained and webbed then. He can't even really talk right now because the stuff is just wrapping him up so badly. And the spiders are obviously still crawling on him. Now the new guy leans down to him and says, "You really need to calm down. You're having a day, but the nice mistress lady would like us to calm down, and I think she's right to say so. So please, calm down." So you can see him leaning down and telling him to calm down, and as he does so, he's manipulating something from his pocket. You can tell he's casting a spell to get him to calm down, and it's not working. Leopold is not, in fact, falling under the power of suggestion. You've definitely used up another spell from the guy you charmed. That means it's now Anice's turn. Anice turned into a panther and jumped on him. He took a claw attack, but he is not actually knocked prone. He's just tied up in a bunch of web covered in spiders and panther. His life is still terrible. Raps is not as worried about all of you getting shot now, but also still can't get around all of the stuff in the way. Raps is just gonna step forward. As a large creature, Raps is gonna reach over the charmed person to the one who is wrapped up in webbing, and Raps is going to smash. Did 8 damage. Smash.
Sorry, I'm enjoying the very accurate picture of Anise that has just been dropped in the chat.
He's like, I should be intimidated by this, but I can't. I just can't be.
Unfortunately for him, the golem has multi-attack. Oh!
Oh!
Well, he's paced. He's not actually dead. He's knocked out. If anyone wants to stabilize him, you can. Otherwise, the golem is done. It's done its job. Penelope, you're up.
I just turned to look at Raps and I'm just like, all right. I think he's good, buddy. I don't think he's gonna be causing us any more problems just yet. But good job. I'm gonna cast Healing Word. I did it. He's not dying.
He is restrained and prone, and has a panther on him. All right, it is over to Kwaku's turn. I think you might want to stay down. Just a suggestion. Wait, he doesn't speak English, does he? Well, I tried. Raps, stop murdering. All right, well, Kwaku did all Kwaku's doing. So first up, he's going to have to roll strength to try to get out of the golem wrap. Nope. Rolled a 3. Well, seeing as he's wrapped up, and he's restrained, so he can't use his move to get up. So he's just lying there and kind of whimpering a little bit. He can't cast any spells because he's restrained. He's shouting back at you in German. I am not getting paid enough for this. I want out. I want over. I want spiders. Oh, spiders on my face. Oh no. Oh no. This is bad. I don't want it. I want the fuck out. And now he's crying. No, really, you need to calm down. It's fine. Everything's okay. We might get a concert later. It's going to be wonderful.
Totally.
But he's not, like, casting a spell or anything at this point. That's just all he's got. In German, he's like, look, it's going to be okay. I don't think they want to kill you. I think they could be friends. Life is so miserable for this guy. But you know what? Don't be racist.
Recognizing and realizing that I am the only one out of our group that can actually speak German, I think I'm going to turn back. I just look at Leopold and I'm like, I can turn back anytime I want. You'd better start cooperating with us or at least calm down in German.
This isn't worth it. I just want to go home.
And I'll relay to everyone else, new guys trying to get Leopold to calm down. It doesn't seem to be working.
You notice that the glasses that he's wearing actually have some tracings on them that imply that they're not just normal glasses.
I don't know anything about how to use it, but I will pick up the gun. And because I noticed his glasses are weird, I will reach down and just pull them off of his face. Fold them up neatly and stick them in my bag. Continue being a giant bigot and I'll keep taking more things from you.
You've taken away his weapon. You've taken his glasses. Fun fact, if spellcasters actually need glasses to see, taking away their glasses is a real dick move because they probably can't cast ranged spells anymore. So I think we're pretty much done with combat now, right? Like, he's given up. You've charmed the other one. Mm-hmm. We don't have to stay in combat turn order anymore. Yeah, he's just lying there. Kwaku is going to tug on the thread a little bit, and the spiders back up. I think the best course of action is pretty obvious. Raps, sit. Because it's on him. All right, well, as promised, he's calmed down a bit. As calm as one could be in this circumstance. So I'm going to send a message to the others. Should I tell them to join us for the concert?
Oh, no. They can go home. It's fine.
He's sending some messages. Suffice it to say, you've accomplished your objectives. You've got a friend for at least an hour. The next train stop is coming up in just under an hour if you want to send them on their way. The next train stop is before your destination, but it would be where you could drop them off. Presumably if they were getting any more reinforcements before you leave, it would be there, but he's rapidly calling off whatever's going on that end.
I will try and get a little bit closer and see if I can read what he's sending.
You can absolutely read the messages that he is sending. He's actually sending messages in English. Standing by to board at mines. Good. El may be compromised by unplanned phantasmals. Suspect elf or half-breed and a hobbit. Elves make my job harder. Are you sure this spider's worth it? Yes, we understand your limits. Wait a damn minute. This isn't about my limit. It's about the risks and the timelines. I'll do my part, but Elf fucked up and got made early. Locking things down until Cologne would be pushing it. We have shifted the plan and rerouted other assets to Koblenz. You had people in Koblenz? No, freelancers. Who the fuck did you hire? A and K were in the area. Suboptimal, but fortuitous all the same. Oh, fuck no! I'm not getting on a train with K. We'll never make it to Cologne. If you do your job, the freelancers will do theirs. Would you rather engage the spider yourself? If K gets on the train, you won't get the pot you're looking for. You leave that burden to A. Your pay is not contingent on their success. Keep things off the radar and clean up behind L, and you'll be paid accordingly. Fine, but I don't want any bitching when your prize spider shows up in an ashtray. I'll cover this up and keep the association off our back. The train's coming in now. Be wary of the unknown phantasmals. Variables complicate equation. No shit. Okay, going dark until the train's secure. Tell L to get his shit together and meet me at the front. Followed by more recent messages. No problem! Everything is great. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We've taken care of the problem. No need for the freelancers. We'll save the money. They're unnecessary, and quite frankly, the train doesn't need that problem. The all caps replies, have you been compromised? Absolutely not. We've taken care of the situation. There are no problems. I'm very good at my job. I can charm anyone, and I took care of everything. That's unexpected, but welcome. We'll tell them to hold back. Excellent. Well, now if you'll excuse me, I've got a concert to catch. You've got a what? Don't worry about it. And then he flips the phone close.
Penelope starts like prepping her viola and just starts playing. She's gonna play like a full like 5-minute song.
The spiders dance along.
Good. Who all is listening to her play?
I am.
Like, everyone in the car can hear you.
I'm gonna use one of Penelope's fun little features.
Are you enthralling?
Yeah, yo.
Choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watched and listened to all of it. A number equal to your charisma modifier.
Okay.
Yours is 3. So yeah, up to 3 people.
Basically, the 3 guys who are not a golem.
Oh, so you're going for Kwaku also?
Yeah, why the hell not?
Okay. Oh, Kwaku nat 20 that. Not charming the boy. Alright, you NPC bastards. I am amazed at how good Leopold is at making these damn saves. He just rolled a 16.
He's having a hard time enjoying the music as he's being sat on.
And the other guy rolled a 17. They all beat your 13, even before modifiers. You played good music though, it was really pretty. He's all happy.
After she finishes playing, she's like, okay, Elias, I have a favor to ask of you.
Of course.
What's the name of the guy that you're working for? Who is he? I'm curious.
You mean the boss?
Yeah, who's your boss?
Oh, well, it's a funny story. I don't know. We get messages, we show up. It's a funny situation. You see, we all get contacted, but we don't know. We're just sent a phone in the mail.
Is there a return address?
Not as such. It's usually P.O. boxes. I've never really looked too far into it. All I know is that whoever sends us the phones also sends us the money and the instructions.
Do you guys have like a group?
We get contacted and activated at times. We usually get together for missions. Like, for instance, this one. We knew that the spider creature over there was traveling and that this was an excellent opportunity because we've been looking for just such a creature.
Well, what were you guys looking for?
So, for starters, he's associated with the Mages Association, and we don't really like them very much. So, like, that's a point in favor of dealing with this. Also, he's quite capable of making very useful tools, and when you hunt monsters, useful tools are helpful. So the ideal would be to capture him and put him to work. In a pinch, he's still a horrible monster. If we had to put him down, we would, and then we would use his various parts to fulfill various rituals.
That's kind of rude.
Indeed. Kwaku's like, not happy about that.
I have folded my arms and I am giving Elias a very stern glare.
Okay, what Leopold over there come and attack us too? Because that was also kind of rude.
First of all, he's a fuck up. And this is all funny because he's saying it in English and Leopold doesn't understand that he's even... Like, he hears his name and he hears the tone, but he doesn't know what you're saying. So he's just whimpering as the golem continues to sit on him. The spiders are not on his face anymore, so, you know, life is a little better. But he's not in a great place.
Whisper, he says you're a fucker, but in German.
Fuck you too! He's not very effective. His job is just to keep an eye on him, so that if he gets off the train before the expected destination, then we know where to find him. We actually planned for this route. You see, I join at the second stop and I clear up the train so that there's no witnesses. And then my job is just to keep him here until we get to Cologne, at which point we will apprehend him as peacefully as possible, or as violently as needed, and take him on to the destination, which through there we'll know. Neither one of us are really meant to fight.
Obviously. So, Leopold here had a gun. Are you armed at all? Were you just planning on using your magic, or do you have any weapons?
I have a knife, but it's not much of a weapon. It's more just for convenience. You don't go after spiders without the ability to cut things. Beyond that, no. I'm a mage. He's not much of a mage. I'm actually quite an accomplished mage. I can handle most situations with magecraft. I'm not as foolish as other mages. And he's very clearly trying to like look impressive to Penelope at this point. Most mages are like, I'll just use magecraft and I'll do whatever I need to do with magic, but they're foolish. They're limitation. My main trick is to isolate someone and then I'll just cast a little hold person on them, hold them in place for a while, and then I'll apply this. And then he reaches into his coat pocket and he pulls out a little box and he flips it up and you can see there's some syringes in it. Knocks them right out.
Mind if I see that?
Looks over to Penelope.
You can trust her. You can trust
Oh, well then by all means, here you are.
Just take it and put it in my bag.
This is the most fun looting ever, by the way. There you go. You now have 3 syringes of liquid.
These are sedatives.
They're full tranquilizer. They'll knock out a bear.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
The important thing is to take your time applying it, so if you can hold them down, it will work wonders.
we appreciate you handing that over to us so willingly.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Like I said, I'm very intelligent, and I try to think ahead for the benefit of everyone. Is there anything else I can do for your mistress? Why are you on this train? You were unexpected. We were not expecting to see any of the likes of the two of you here. We knew about him. I mean, it's hard to miss him, but the two of you were unexpected.
Elias, I am offended. You don't even have a ticket to my next concert? You don't know that I'm a
Oh, I wasn't even really aware I was a fan, but now I'm mortified.
You should be.
Tell me, are they on sale? Can I buy one right now?
Do you have like 200 euros on you, maybe?
Well, I mean, I'm not poor.
Yeah, now this is a special discount because I know you're my #1 fan. And she just like takes a piece of paper out of her pocket and just quickly just makes the shittiest looking ticket. It just says like VIP on it, like doodles a couple of hearts on it, and then just hands it over to him.
I got an autograph! Splendid! I want you to know that you left him with like $8. This is wonderful. So would you like me to accompany you to your destination?
Oh no, it's good. I really don't like the fact that you're attacking my friend over there. She points at Quack and is like,
Is it the racism? Is that what's bothering you?
I mean, that's a big part of it, yes. But he's
Oh, it's always a thing!
He's also my bodyguard. And then she's my bodyguard.
I'm glad you are so safe.
Yeah, I'm incredibly safe, but you guys were making it real hard.
Well, he is an asshole. Do you want me to make him go away for you? Because I can.
That'd be lovely.
So he's reaching down to pull him out from under Raps right now. I'll allow it. Raps gets up.
Should we perhaps make him tranquil?
I mean, I suppose you could. It'd probably be the more humane thing to do.
I'll take one of the syringes out and hand it over to Elias.
Okay, we get to use one of the syringes, so I guess we'll reduce the number in your inventory to 2. He does pass the save, but I'm going to share with you how it works because you get to see it. Since he passed it, he instead gets a level of exhaustion. That means he'll now have disadvantage on checks. Well, now I'll take care of him. Be right back. He is going to go and...
Throw him off the train. No.
He is.
Oh no!
What he's trying to do. He said he'd take care of it.
Wait. Didn't say throw him off the train.
I'm taking care of him for you, mistress.
No. Just take care of him at the next stop when you guys get off.
Oh,
You know, the stop you were planning on making?
But must I part from you so soon?
Unfortunately, yes.
Cruel fate.
I know.
Very well, very well. I believe the stop is coming up shortly. I suppose I'll need to tell off the ruffians that they hired anyway.
Would another concert help this situation? Maybe?
Would you?
I would. Are you ready
No, I don't think I'm prepared.
for a minute-long kazoo solo? Always. She just pulls it out and just starts duding along a kazoo.
Oh, it's truly music to my ears.
Back, so I'm gonna make it look like you're glowing.
Rocco is laughing in the background, by the way. The spiders are swaying back and forth as if they were holding lighters. As you do this, you can feel the train slowing down, pulling into the next stop. Well, it's been a wonderful time. So to the wonderful sound of kazoos and now a train whistle, the train is pulling into the station, and the two of them are begrudgingly leaving the train. So what would the two of you like to do at the stop now that they have left the train and the train has not yet left the station?
I guess we can go back to Kwaku's room and actually order that ice cream.
Yeah. And when we get into the room, I'm gonna look out the window.
Alright, so you both were looking out the window to see what's going on. The two that you know are begrudgingly walking off the train. You can see 2 other figures that were clearly standing and waiting, that look way out of place from everyone else. Ignore what he's doing in the picture and just know that this is what he looks like. Looks pretty disgruntled, not super happy to be there, but he actually is dressed that way. Like, he's wearing a scarf and a coat and all that. It's kind of cold outside. He's not making dinner, but he is otherwise there, and he doesn't look very happy. The other one, he looks remarkably chill at first, until they're both like off the train and walk over. After like a moment of talking to them, he loses his shit and he just starts yelling at them. It's very clear that his vacation or something is being ruined, but you can't tell what he's saying from this far away. That first guy, the one who was kind of gruff looking, is sort of turning and he's looking in the direction of the train car that you're in, but he's not doing anything. He's just sort of looking at you. Kwaku's gonna look out the window too. Let's see if he sees anything. Kwaku narrows his eyes for a little bit. I think the taller one sees us, but isn't doing anything because, per the conversation before, they're freelancers and they're not getting paid. From what I can tell, the shorter one in the funny shirt is pissed, but not acting upon it. I suppose they're just going to be stuck there.
Yeah, seems likely.
So you got some interesting glasses off of that man. Would you like me to tell you what they do?
Oh, sure, if you don't mind.
Sure, just 1 second. I will take a look at how they work. Do you mind? And he held out his hand.
Yeah,
Like
I'll fish him out of my bag and put him in his hand.
So I figured out how these things work, and it explains a little bit of the story you gave me before about what they were up to. These are magical. It seems like these glasses allow you to find phantasmal species in your proximity. It looks like while you're wearing them, if you channel just a little bit of mana into them, you can take a look around and the color of the lens will shift into a more of a red color. And it seems like the more phantasmals or the stronger phantasmals are within, I would wager about 30 feet from the identification, the darker it will get. It is quite possible that when he was zigzagging around you before, he was seeing how dark it got to determine which one of you was the phantasmal. Until presumably he was able to determine that it was both of you. That said, I believe there are some limits to it. He couldn't seem to tell when he was in the bathroom, so it probably can't actually go through things that it can't see through. It does simply seem to tell you when you're in the proximity of other such creatures, so taking these away from him might have actually ruined his career, which is good because it was awful. Yeah, fuck him.
He deserved it.
Yep. Took his weapon, took his glasses.
I believe you gave him ample opportunities to not go down this path.
Yeah. He had many chances.
I would wager that fellow you charmed is probably getting the shit kicked out of him right about now.
That's fine.
I mean,
Because he definitely compromised their entire mission and also told you a lot of things you probably weren't supposed to hear.
Yeah.
And also, honestly, kicking the shit out of someone is how you break a charm, so it wouldn't be an unreasonable thing to do even if he hadn't done that. Personally, I am really entertained that the guy who thinks he's so good at mind magic got whammied in the opening shot.
Oh no, that was delightful.
yes, that was
delightful.
very well done, Penelope.
Thank you.
Well, on the plus side, they didn't get on the train. We've got a little bit of time to rest, and then we can move on.
I suppose we can order that ice cream now.
Yeah.
I dare say you've earned it.
Push the button on the wall again. Hey, we really want that ice cream. Where are you?
It would appear that we made it for you, but I'm dreadfully sorry. It's melted. We'll get you some new right away. In fact, we'll bring you double.
Thank you. Also, bring some champagne.
Of course. What type of vintage?
The most expensive one you have on this train.
You are my favorite customer.
I know.
And also another salad and some more hot tea.
Very good, very good.
Right, so while they're waiting on the waiter, Penelope looks at Kwaku and is like, alright, so you haven't really told us too much about yourself.
Oh, that's a fair point. I suppose we do have time now.
And we just kind of saved your ass, so,
It was most appreciated, yes. And it sounds like we may be traveling companions, as I believe we're going to the same place.
it'd be nice to know something more about you than spiders.
I'm happy to talk. I actually really enjoy stories, and I very seldom get to tell my own. Let me ask you this. Do you know what a Jorogumo is? Simply put, there are a lot of urban legends around the world involving spiders. One of the more slanderous comes from the Far East, where Jorogumo are spider creatures. In the legends, they're always women, but quite frankly, that's just wish fulfillment. Beautiful women who live under waterfalls or in attics or something, and lure men in and then eat them. Definitely rude. My ancestors were one of the sources of those rumors, but as it turns out, the men don't wander in and get eaten. They just fall in love and don't return to their villages, which of course creates rumors. Well, some of them were probably eaten, but that's very rare. Don't worry about it. Several generations back, my grandmother met with a very nice man. Given all of the stories of spider monsters, we decided it was best not to stay. Well, they decided it was best not to stay. I wasn't born yet. So they left, and they traveled more to the African region, and I was actually born there, a few generations later. I suppose if you want to do the math, I'm like 1/16th spider person. I have a very narrow ability, but it does allow me to communicate with them. It does allow me certain advantages when working with fibers. As I mentioned before, I am known in the mage world as the code spinner because I work with spiders to infuse their threads with mana and use them to create mystic codes. A very niche skill, but is in high demand. For all of the benefits of spider webs, they're very durable, they're very strong, but more to the point, they come from living creatures, which means they can channel magic similar to magic circuits in your body. And that makes them very, very useful in crafting for magecraft. I am a phantasmal species by ancestry, but I'm useful enough to the mage world that I don't feel like I'm in danger too often, although that does admittedly get a little bit of attention. Obviously, our friend Raps here is someone that I created. I also created the box that he travels in. My main goal in life is to collect stories. I want to know the world. When I was a child in Ghana, I remember stories of Anansi the spider who gave the world stories. Very clever, very tricksy, and I was fascinated by that. So as I grew up, I wanted to collect more stories. And now, I work for stories. I work for legends. I work for any information to write, anything to write down, anything to save for the future. I collect journals, I like to hear things, so this adventure today will make for an excellent story. I'm actually heading to the Einsburns because I wish to hear their story. They've been very reclusive, but as I understand it, the Einsburns was spotted in Japan about a year ago before the incident in Fuyuki City, and I have not heard of anyone seeing them since. The mystery of what happened to that city is fascinating to me, and I think if anyone would know, and if anyone got out before the incident occurred, it would be one of them. So I wish to hear the story. Fuyuki City is just like another city that had something happen. The main thing with this one is this is a city that you've heard rumors of being cursed. Like, there were some things on the news about it. Fuyuki is a place that in the mid-90s had a giant fire that the mage community acknowledges was probably the result of someone screwing up a ritual. The cover-up had all the signs of what happens when the church and the Mages Association work together to cover something up. For everyone else in the world, it's like, oh no, gas leaks or whatever, but for anyone who's really paying attention and connected, like, it's obviously a cover-up for something. And then 10 years later, like, last year in 2004, the city suffered from something really strange and catastrophic where entire chunks of the city just disappeared. Not the whole city, not the whole thing, but like whole areas are just gone. They're just craters. So unlike the previous one where there were fires and smoke and all kinds of stuff like that, like whole areas just disappeared in the middle of the night. The official line about it later was pretty weak. It blamed it on terrorist activity. It was very clear that the Mages Association and the church went into those craters and set fires to make it look like something horrible happened with terrorism. Even Penelope would know about this. Like, it was a victim of a terror attack. You don't miss that, especially in the mid-2000s. No one really claimed credit for it, and no one really knew what was up with that. No one really knows what caused it, but obviously some rituals that people keep trying to do keep screwing it up. Something happened.
Gotcha.
And so now Kwaku is making it clear that, like, he wants to know what happened, and he thinks that the Einsburns might know since they've been involved in something there, because they've been sighted there multiple times, and, like, they literally built a castle in the area. I'm of the mindset that I can probably get an audience with the current head of the family and perhaps find out a little bit more about what they're up to. If they are doing some kind of ritual that is this dangerous, maybe I can help them do it less dangerously.
It is certainly interesting. I knew that city was cursed, but didn't think too much of it. Didn't know the Einsmans were involved. That's very interesting.
It is strange that they would travel to the other side of the world, but...
Twice.
3 times, actually.
Oh, 3 times.
Yes, one of my other clients actually mentioned she was from Japan. She's very old now. She was actually present in the 1930s when they apparently did this another time.
Huh.
She was the one who mentioned that they might be related to this to me in the first place when I was doing something else for her. In fact, you might know of her. She's got a big name too. Are you familiar with the Edelfelt family?
In fact, I have worked with them before.
I've worked with one of the former matriarchs of it. She was the one in your backstory that you made the potion that was essentially keeping her alive and sane for a while. And that's what let you get originally set up in London before the other stuff really kicked in. Mm-hmm. She was one of the heads of the family a few generations ago before she passed on her mystic code to her son, and then presumably now it's with the daughter who's off at Clock Tower, being all high profile, amazing, and apparently getting in wrestling matches. Her name was Lavisa Edelfeld. She's one of my clients. I've made things for her to help her in her own research, as, you know, she may be getting older, but all mages seek the root, and she thinks that some of the things that I work on can help her. She told me an amazing story in exchange for my help, and that involved what happened in that city in the 1930s, which I would like to now hear the Einsburn version of the story, and maybe I can piece it together. And since you said that you're bringing such an interesting potion there, I feel like it's possible their homunculi might benefit from whatever it is you've been making them. Suffice it to say, it'll be a little bit of a journey once we arrive, so now would be an excellent time to just take a rest. It appears we still have the entire back half of the train to ourselves. Give or take the ice cream. Actually, hold on. And he reaches over and he like twangs the web that's in the corner. It's probably best they not find 1,000 spiders when they come to deliver the ice cream.
Oh, I was 100% going to give the gun to the waiter after he gave us the ice cream. One of the passengers that got off the last station left this. I thought maybe you could get it back to them or something, or throw it away, or... I don't want it. I'm a woman of peace, you know?
Oh, this is dreadful. Yes, of course. I will get this to the authorities. My God, it's loaded, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Oh, this is so dangerous.
I'm so sorry. I just, I don't...
No, it's not your fault. It clearly someone let an American on the train. I bet it was one of those rich people in the other cars. Not that I have a problem with rich people, he says, looking around the first class car. But, of course, they tend to not respect the rules. I will have this taken care of at once. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for taking it off my hands.
I forgot to mention, can you charge the ice cream and the champagne to Leopold's tab?
Absolutely. That shouldn't be a problem at all.
I will pay the tip in cash.
Oh, splendid.
You know the subtle, handshake thing where somebody, tucks the dollar bill or whatever in their hand and then just goes to shake hands? She does that. She's like, I really appreciate your service. Just slips in 50 euros.
I live to serve.